What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy ATM back again with another video. And in today's video, I wanted to discuss with the gentlemen out there, and even some of the ladies, if you do get to see this, about about being boring, right? We're hearing about a lot nowadays about being boring and how, you know, a lot of men can be considered boring and not fun and not interesting or whatever that may be. I wanted to kind of flip that and say to be boring, right? To be uninteresting, to be unassuming, right? To be someone who many people look over. And the reason being is think about it from the perspective of rich versus wealthy, right? When you're thinking about rich, you're thinking about flash, you're thinking about popping out, you know, grabbing attention of the masses, versus wealth is greater than rich, and it's subtle. No one really pays attention to it, but the dynamic, or I say the difference between the two, is not only is it in the bank account, not only is it in the mindset, but it's also in how they move, right? So if you're truly wealthy, you want to keep it to yourself. You want to keep it to the groups of people that you have that doesn't necessarily need the attention of the masses, because if you have the attention of the masses, and this is the important part, many are going to try to take what you have, whether that be family, rich in family, you know, rich in success, rich in, you know, money, rich in power, you know, rich with when it comes to your relationship with God. So many are going to try to take or sabotage what you have because they don't have it, or they don't want to see someone who does have it knowing that they haven't achieved that. So when it comes to that aspect of being boring and realizing that I'm looking to be boring for the greater good of the future, right? The excitement and the wow factor is usually and always for the now, but a lot of people don't think about that the boring, you know, day-to-day tortoise type of, you know, take one step at a time, keep moving forward, you know, do the things that you need to do. You always can get to the end of the race. It may not be as flashy, but on the back end, when the flashiness is gone and is burnt out, and you know, you don't have a lot of people who are considered rich, or, you know, the mass group of people, which is more middle class to poor, they're not even going to be in your same lane, right? You're going to be so far ahead when it comes to the things I've discussed before, that the greatest thing about it is everyone is going to unassume that you are doing something that they should be a part of, right? So when you're rich or you're flashy, a lot of people want to gravitate towards that because they also want to steal or take from or learn, if you will say, from those people. But on the back end, rich doesn't last, whereas wealthy lasts because it's going through generations of people, right? So thinking about it in this way, do you just want to be rich, or do you want your kids and your grandkids and your great grandkids to be wealthy? I want the wealth over the richness. And it's not just, I'm not just talking about money, right? I'm talking about mindset, how you approach life, how you go about putting your kids in the best health care, how you go about, you know, putting your wife or husband, whoever it may be, in the best possible situations for them to excel as well, and not just about you. And that you go around and you shake hands with the people that are like-minded like yourself, which is other wealthy people. But to the masses, you just look like a regular Joe Schmo, and they don't know nothing about you. And I think that's kind of important. To kind of give another metaphor or analogy, if you will, it's the people who have the money driving regular cars versus the people who are rich driving the very fancy cars, right? The fancy cars are eye-catching, but it doesn't last long. Whereas the people who have the money usually drive, unless they're getting driven around, are usually driving the regular cars, you know, that already paid off. They may have 150, 170,000 miles, but their money is being funded into investments, or their money's going to their family, or however you want to look at it. But the rich are usually trying to get to the wealthy part. But the problem is people are paying attention to you. So I think it's more about being someone that doesn't necessarily want all the eyes on you, but you want the success that comes with the eyes being on you, right? You want the money, the power, the status, not necessarily the fame, but you want everything else that comes with it. Just no one knows who you are. So I think that's important. Obviously the people who are in your same tax bracket or mindset are going to know, hey, this guy is, or this woman is someone we need to align with, because of, they got stuff that many people aren't really paying attention to. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and kind of talk with y'all about being the boring guys. And that means, doing your 9-to-5 job, and maybe you're doing your side hustle and you're staying low key. You're not hanging out with people. You're not drinking, you're not doing drugs, right? You're not trying to mess with a whole bunch of men or different women, and you're focused on whatever your goals may be. Maybe you don't want kids and you don't really want a family. You just want to enjoy your life, which is fine. Just, figure out where your wealth is going to go. Hopefully it's not just to charity, but it's to, people around you, for them to excel as well. But if you don't have anybody, then it's kind of figuring out, where you want your money to go once you pass away, because everything it doesn't stay with you. It gets transferred to somewhere else. Or if you're someone like myself who wants, to be married, family, land and all that, right? You want to be able to make sure that you're working towards putting your money to them and to the grandkids and the great grandkids, just to make sure that, you've done what you needed to do to continue and propel the wealth, and change the trajectory of your legacy in a positive way. So that is it. I just want to come on here and kind of say to be the boring guys or be the boring girls, and stay away from people who are trying to be flashy and want you to woo them and want you to, I would say, want you to wow them for just a small dopamine or attention that they may get, but it doesn't benefit you or them in the long run, right? So a lot of this kind of stuff that people be doing nowadays is not beneficial in the long run. It's just enjoyable for the moment, which sounds great, right? When we think about it on the surface level of, oh gosh, this person's taking me here, they're flying me here, or they're bought me this type of car, or spent money on my birthday this amount. But when you look at it 10 to 15 years down the line, a lot of that doesn't really matter. A lot of those things kind of either become the habitual norms, or they just get thrown in the trash, or left on the street, or passed down to somebody else. So be the boring person, don't be the flashy. Think about, if you ever get lost in the moment, think, do I want to be the rich person, or do I want to be the wealthy person? Right? And obviously, like I was saying before, it's not always about the money. It's about, the lifestyle. It's about the mindset, who you want to hang around you. Because I want land, a family, and have those people around me when I get older, not to just have useless material things and no one's there, right? And the masses aren't people you want around you, especially when you have money, because a lot of them are going to try to steal it or take your joy from you, and all your hard work just went to nothing. But that's it, ATM fam. I'm signing out. Peace.